Hello everyone, this is Teacher Juvie and I will be your guide for today's lesson.
Our topic is about solving routine and non-routine problems using data presented in different kinds of bar graphs. So we have learned from the previous lesson that a bar graph has two axes, the horizontal axis and the vertical axis with labels, title and scale. The vertical axis is the group data, while the horizontal axis is the frequency data. Bar graphs may be horizontal or vertical. So we have here two figures. Which do you think is the horizontal bar graph? Which is the vertical bar graph? Can you identify each part? Okay, so i-identify natin dito kung alin ba sa dalawang figure ang horizontal bar graph at yung vertical bar graph. So we can say that bar graph A is a horizontal bar graph. Then yung bar graph B naman ay yung vertical bar graph. Paano nasabi nating horizontal bar graph yung A? Kasi nga, yung kanyang mga bar graphs ay nakahiga or pahiga nating i-drawing. Samantalang yung vertical bar graph naman, yung mga bar graph niya ay nakatayo or patayo nating i-drawing. So yun yung pagkakaiba ng vertical bar graph sa horizontal bar graph. Okay? So from this bar graph, let us identify the different parts. So yung first part natin is the title. Then, yung label ng ating horizontal axis, yung subject, yun yung ating naka-horizontal axis. Then yung label ng ating vertical axis o yung nakatayong line. So yung label natin doon is yung number of pupils. So ang tawag natin sa vertical axis is the frequency data. Tatandaan nyo lang, pag frequency, ito yung mga numbers. Then, ang tawag naman natin sa ating horizontal axis o yung nakahigang linya, that is the group data. Then, yung last part niya is yung scale. So, these are the different parts of the bar graph. So, tatandaan nyo lang din na kapag vertical bar graph ang ating gagamitin, kagaya nito, ang ating horizontal axis, yun yung magiging group data. Then, yung ating vertical axis, yun yung frequency data. While, kapag naman i-construct natin ay horizontal bar graph, babaliktarin lang natin yung dalawang axis. So, yung horizontal axis, siya yung magiging frequency data. At yung vertical axis natin, siya naman yung magiging group data. Next naman is how to interpret a graph. So, paano natin i-interpret yung mga bar graph? So, we follow 5 steps. So, yung step 1, we should understand the story behind the data presented in the graph. Siyempre, dapat naiintindihan natin yung story na pinepresent doon pinepresent ng graph na yon. Then, yung step 2, make a thorough analysis of the data presented. Siyempre, i-analyze mo yung pinepresent ng data. Then, step 3, use the data in the graph to answer questions. It is easier to interpret a bar graph if you are guided with some specific questions. So, gagamitin natin yung mga data dun sa graph para masagutan natin yung mga guide questions. Kasi mas mabilis i-interpret yung data, syempre, kapag may mga guided questions tayong kailangang sinasagot. Then, step 4, read the title. So, babasahin nyo kung ano ba yung title ng ating bar graph. And yung step 5, read and understand the labels. So, iintindihin nyo rin yung mga labels ng ating horizontal axis at ng ating vertical axis kasi ito yung dalawang variables na involved sa ating bar graph. Okay, so let's try to interpret a bar graph. So we study the following questions about the single bar graphs. So meron tayong ditong vertical bar graph at horizontal bar graph. So, same lang yung kanyang pinapakitang data, magkaiba lang yung pagkaka-present niya. So, yung isa, yung mga bar ay nakatayo, so that is a vertical bar graph. Then, yung bars naman ay nakahiga. Therefore, this is a horizontal bar graph. So, the first question is, what is the title of the bar graphs? So, from these two bar graphs, makikita natin na yung title ay yung Our Favorite Games. Okay. The next question, in the vertical bar graph, what information is placed along the horizontal axis? How about the vertical axis? So, asan ba dito ang vertical bar graph? Siyempre, itong nasa kaliwa. So, ano daw information ang nasa horizontal axis? So, pag sinabing horizontal, nakahiga. So, therefore, ang sagot is yung game. At yung vertical axis naman, ang label natin dyan is yung number of pupils. In the horizontal bar graph, what information is placed along the horizontal axis? How about the vertical axis? So, ang ating horizontal bar graph here is yung graph na nasa kanan. So, what information is placed along the horizontal axis? So, ang ating horizontal axis ay yung number of pupils. So, di ba, kabaliktaran siya ng vertical bar graph? So, yung group data na natin is nasa horizontal axis na. Then, yung vertical axis natin, yung frequency data, which is the game. What sport is the favorite of most pupils? So, from this bar graph, so makikita natin na ang favorite ng karamihan sa mga pupils ay basketball. Kasi siya yung may pinakamataas na bar. At ang kanyang frequency ay 12. How many pupils like softball? So, yung softball, ito yung pangalawa natin. So, yung softball here, kasi sa legend, S siya. Then, ilan ang may gusto ng softball? So, ang bar natin ay nakatapat sa 6. Therefore, 6 ang pupils na may gusto ng softball. Karon din dito sa ating horizontal bar graph. 6 din siya. So, yung 5, lagpas lang ng isa, kaya 6. Okay? What sport is the second choice? So, ano yung pangalawang choice ng mga bata, ng mga pupils? So, based on these two graphs, makikita natin na yung volleyball ang pangalawa sa pinakagusto ng mga pupils. So, siya yung pangalawa sa mataas na bar. At ang frequency niya ay 10. So, 12 ang ating basketball at ang volleyball naman ay 10. How many more pupils like basketball than soccer? So, let's compare the frequencies of these two games. So, ang frequency ng basketball ay 12 at ang frequency naman ng soccer ay 8. So, ang gagawin lang natin is isa-subtract natin yung dalawang frequency para malaman natin kung gaano ba karami ang may gusto ng basketball kaysa sa soccer. So, 12, bawasan natin ng 8, so the answer is 4. Therefore, the answer is 4 pupils like basketball than soccer. What is the total number of pupils who like soccer, softball, and basketball? So, i-determine natin yung mga frequencies ng mga binanggit na games. So, let's first determine the frequency of soccer. So, we have 8 pupils like soccer. Then, i-add natin yung softball. So, how many frequency meron sa softball? So, meron siyang 6. Then, i-add naman natin yung frequency ng basketball. So, we have 12. 8 plus 6 plus 12. So, the answer is 26 pupils ang may gusto ng soccer, softball, and basketball. Bar graphs graphs can also be used to compare data that can be counted. A double bar graph can be used to compare two sets of data normally presented in different colors, one from the other. A legend is placed at the bottom of the graph to help us see what each color means for easy interpretation. So, yung ginawa natin kanina is a single bar graph. Then now, pwede rin nating i-present ang ating bar graph through double bar graph pag magko-compare tayo ng dalawang sets of data. Okay, so sa magdodrawing tayo ng double bar graph, magkaiba yung kulay na ginagamit natin dun sa mga graph. Halimbawa, green dun sa unang data. Then, sa pangalawang data naman is yellow para malaman natin yung pagkakaiba nila or para mapagkumpara natin sila. So, this is an example of double horizontal bar graph. So, ganito siya. Same din siya ng mga single bar graph. Meron din siyang mga parts. Meron din siyang title, label, legend. Ang nadagdag dito is legend and meron din siyang scale. So, yung legend, kailangan yun kasi dalawa na yung bar na dinodrawing natin or kinoconstruct natin. So, therefore, kailangan ma-identify natin doon alin ba doon yung unang data at alin doon yung pangalawang data. Solving routine problems using graphs, these are the things to remember. So we also follow the steps of Polya's four-step process to solve routine problems using graphs. So, alam naman natin na ang first step is to understand the problem. So, from this bar graph presented, what is asked in the problem? So, we are looking for the total electric consumption from December to March. Then, what are the given numbers? Looking at the data presented, December consumed 25 kilowatts of electricity. So, titingnan nyo yung frequency data ng December. So, nakakonsume siya ng 25 kilowatts. Then, January, ang nakonsumo niya is 20 kilowatts. Then, February, nakonsume is 30 kilowatts dahil nakatapat siya sa 30. And yung March naman, ang frequency niya is 45 kilowatts. Okay, so ang second step natin is to plan. So, what operation will you use? Since ang hinahanap natin is yung total number of kilowatts na kinonsumo ni Lily, so we will use addition. And what is the mathematical sentence or the number sentence? So, we will just add all the frequencies from December to March. So, we have 25 plus 20 plus 30 plus 45 equals N. Third step is to solve. So, what is the answer to the problem? Siyempre, using our number sentence, 25 plus 20 plus 30 plus 45 equals N, we will add all these frequencies and we will get 120. And that is the kilowatts or the total electric consumption from December to March. For the last step, which is to check and look back, how can we check that our answer is correct? So, since addition yung ating operation na involved at ang kabaliktaran ng addition is subtraction, so ang gagawin natin, yung nakuha nating sagot na 120 ay babawasin natin yung mga frequencies. So, 120 minus 25 minus 20 minus 30 minus 45, so dapat mag-i-equate siya sa 0. Because the reverse operation of addition is subtraction. Okay, now for this activity, we are going to solve the given problem using the graph. So this is the presented bar graph. So ang title ng bar graph na to is Colette's Rubber Shoes Store sold for the month of June. Then yung ating, this is a horizontal bar graph. So yung ating frequency data is the number of shoes sold and na nasa horizontal axis. At yung ating vertical axis or the group data is yung brand of rubber shoes. So meron siyang maporma, malambot, maganda at matibay. Okay, so how many rubber shoes in all were sold for the month of June? Para ma-interpret natin yung bar graph, let's answer the following guide questions. So we have what is asked in the problem. So we are looking for the total number of rubber shoes sold for the month of June. Then what operation will you use? Since we are looking for the total number of rubber shoes sold, so syempre we will use addition. Give the complete answer. So we will add all the frequencies. So the first is yung maporma got 40 plus 20 yung malambot, 30 yung maganda, at 50 naman yung matibay. So we will add all these frequencies and we will get 140. So therefore, the answer here is 140 shoes or rubber shoes were sold for the month of June.
Thanks for watching this video. Hit like if you learned something from this video and don't forget to subscribe on this channel. Thank you so much.